Hello, everyone. My name is Brianna Fittipelli, and I am a fourth year doctoral candidate at Adelphi University in clinical psychology. Today, I am here with Dr. Courtney Gosnell from Pace University, and we're very excited to go over our inaugural NICER initiative, the Network for International Collaborative Exchange Regional. So today we'll be going over an overview of the program, point out some key differences between NICER and NICE for those folks who have been involved in previous projects, and then offer some opportunities that we have for this year's NICER project and different roles that we have for both students and faculty. So now I will hand it over to Dr. Gosnell.
Hello, everyone. My name is Courtney Gosnell. I'm an associate professor of psychology at Pace University, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the NICER program and kind of talk through some of the logistics. So for years now, Psi Chi has been running the NICE program, which is the Network for International Collaborative Exchange. And through that program, they support one or two projects each year to promote cross-cultural research through multi-site studies, standardized protocols, and open science practices, where people are coming together from all over the world to study a particular research question. However, with NICE continuing to expand, Psi Chi really want to take this opportunity to do a more systematic evaluation to identify what are the strengths of the program and what are some areas where we could improve moving forward. And so to address this, we developed the NICER program, which is basically Psi Chi NICE with a regional focus. And for this year, that focus will be on the Eastern United States. And so this is a pilot program to really evaluate how well are we doing with the Psi Chi NICE program, making sure that the goals of NICE are matching what we're doing in terms of our research, and thinking about opportunities to continue to improve the program, make it more user-friendly for both students and faculty who are getting involved. So in terms of how NICER is a little bit different than the NICE program, if you've been involved with NICE before, this program will look a little bit different in a couple of ways. For one, there will be an optional IRB review before submission. So if you do want to get feedback on your IRB before you submit to your university IRB, there will be an opportunity to do that. We will also have contributors complete surveys that we will use internally to evaluate how the program is going, things that we can do differently. And so that's an important part of this process, is just getting feedback from all of you to think about how we want to move the program forward in the future. And we're also planning to provide educational resources, particularly to help students who might be new to the research process learn more about open science and best research practices. In terms of how NICER is structured, there will be 3 phases. Most of these phases will focus on student feedback. And at each phase, there will basically be a brief survey that's completed anonymously. And these are used to track participant knowledge of the research process, but also to get feedback from the students who are participating as researchers. So phase 1 will be before the IRB submission. Students will be asked to complete a survey then. They'll also be asked to complete a survey during phase 2, which will be during the data collection. And then phase 3 is after project completion. And at that point, we will have a final student survey, but also a faculty survey as well. And so the goal of these surveys, like I said, is really just to get your feedback, help us identify what's working really well within the NICE program, what might be some areas where we need to improve, need to provide more resources, or need to, troubleshoot some of our processes to make this a better experience for all of you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gosnell, for that great overview of NICER. So now I'd like to go into some roles that we offer for this year. So first and foremost, we are welcoming faculty and students to contribute to the 2025-2026 NICER project. The project has been selected, and we are looking to get contributors up until about midway through February. So for faculty specifically, if you join in to be a contributor, so what would that look like? You would serve as the principal investigator at your institution, submit your IRB, and recruit participants. Now, you could have a fellow colleague join in as a co-PI. You could also offer this to a student to be a principal investigator, maybe for the very first time, where you would serve as the faculty advisor, but also as the co-PI. Now, in addition to running this project at your site, we also have had many individuals, faculty members, have much success in integrating NICE projects into the classroom. So, integrating into different research methods classes, working one-on-one with a student for their honors thesis. You can take your individual data set and play around with it in the classroom, teaching students different types of data analysis or the steps to prepare a manuscript. It's really endless opportunity, and I'm happy to go over some more specific examples of how this was used in the classroom in the past. But of course, you could solely be the PI at your institution and just run this study and that's it, and that is totally fine as well. Now, for student contributors, you would be the PI for your institution, working with a faculty sponsor, no matter if you're an undergrad student all the way to a PhD student. All students need a faculty advisor. However, you would serve as a co-PI at your institution and submit your IRB. We then would offer that optional IRB feedback, and you would begin to collect data after you received IRB approval. Now, for both students and faculty, the minimum requirement to receive authorship is to, in fact, recruit the adequate sample size we're asking for the specific project. So, as long as you collect that data, you will be receiving authorship. Then, optionally, both faculty and students can assist in data analysis and manuscript prep. And the more you do, the higher up in the authorship order you would be. We use a tier-based system. So, no matter if you're a student or a faculty, authorship depends on the tasks that you complete, not your student or professional status. Finally, if maybe what I'm saying seems like a little bit too much, or you just want to get your feet wet in terms of learning about the NICER program, becoming a committee member might be a good idea for you. This is typically a 2-year voluntary term. You would be assisting with different marketing and advertising strategies for this NICER project. You would have the opportunity to give contributors IRB feedback if, in fact, you have experience with that. And then you would be able to assist in all of our program evaluation and improvement efforts. That would include analyzing some of the data we get back from the internal surveys we give to students and faculty, and pointing out any themes or notable points that stand out, and then help us update our protocols and procedures at the NICER program. So if you'd like to learn more about NICER in general or the different roles, feel free to check out that QR code at the bottom right of the screen to learn more through our Psi Chi page. So, why join NICER? I've mentioned a little bit, but let me go more in detail. So, NICER offers both educational and professional benefits for students and faculty. All contributors gain experience with collaborative multi-site research, learning how large-scale projects are coordinated across institutions while maintaining both ethical and methodological rigor. NICER also provides structured exposure to open science practices, including pre-registration, data sharing, and transparency in research workflows. Students can benefit from hands-on training in research design, data collection, and ethical compliance, while faculty and students gain access to ready-made protocols and educational resources that can be integrated into teaching and mentorship. NICER projects are also well suited for honors theses, capstone projects, and independent research experiences, and participation has led to conference presentations and co-authored peer-reviewed publications even beyond the main manuscript. Additionally, NICER facilitates professional networking across institutions, allowing contributors to build relationships with researchers and students beyond their home institution. Just from my several years of being part of Psi Chi research initiatives, I can really say that I've built a friend group from participating in these projects and now have researchers and friends across the globe. It's really exciting. So now, how to get started. Please email me at nicerchair@scichi.org if you're interested in becoming a contributor, and we ask folks to reach out on or before February 15th, 2026. Include in your email your name, your student or professional status, the name of your institution, and your faculty advisor information. Ideally, your faculty advisor would be CC'd on that email just for streamlined protocols. So after that, you would then be tasked with creating your own OSF account and you would join our site-specific OSF webpage. You then would have access to all of those materials needed to create your IRB application, and then you would go ahead and submit it to your institution, getting that optional feedback along the way if you would like. You then would recruit participants at your site, getting that adequate sample size for what the study calls for. And once that is completed, if you're interested, you then can go on and contribute to data analysis and writing phases. And just as a reminder, faculty can use this as a teaching resource really at any step of the way. You could use it broadly as you're creating your IRB application, or you could use it post data collection to play around with your own institution's data set and maybe teach students new data techniques. So, what is the first NICER project? It is titled Effect of Transmedia Storytelling on the Formation of Researcher Identity Among Undergraduate Research Assistants. The PIs of this study are from the New York Institute of Technology, Dr. Alexander, and undergrad student Zainab Faisal. The purpose of this study is to investigate how digital storytelling and transmedia engagement can strengthen researcher identity and STEM belonging among emerging undergraduate researchers. Our site-specific OSF page is on the slide here if you want to go check it out. The target sample size is approximately 90 participants aged 18 or over. They must be undergraduate research assistants currently involved in some form of active research. Recruitment will be via research mentors, whether it's a faculty or a graduate student, different research methods courses, or posting on relevant student communities within your institution. Now, you can optionally broaden recruitment to different social media platforms if you're at all concerned that you might not be able to get that sample size within your school. You're free to add a couple questions to the survey to ensure inclusionary criteria is met. You are allowed to add questions to the survey and even answer your own hypotheses. However, you cannot remove any questions. In terms of the tasks that we're asking individuals and participants to complete are 3 weekly social media posts submitted for review. They will be answering questions about their research identity, STEM belonging, and science motivation, both before and after the intervention. Manipulation will include subjects randomly assigned to one of 3 posting conditions, either a narrative single platform condition where they write some sort of text post and post to a single social media platform. Then we have the transmedia narrative condition and then the non-narrative control. And more information about each of those conditions are on our OSF page. Data collection for this study will end ideally by May 2026, and then we typically take the summer and maybe the first or 1 or 2 months of the fall 2026 semester to do the data analysis, finish preparing the manuscript, and then submitting it for peer review. So, in conclusion, just to give you an overview of what NICER can provide, which is a structured, ethical, and collaborative research framework that supports high quality scientific inquiry and meaningful educational and professional experiences. By participating in NICER, faculty and students contribute not only to the specific research project, but they're also contributing to the evaluation and improvement of our collaborative open science practices within Psi Chi's research programs. Contributors play a major active role in shaping how our large scale research initiatives are designed, implemented, and supported. So, not only do you get the benefits that NICER has always provided, but you're also getting the benefit of contributing to a program evaluation mission. So, we invite you to join NICER and to be a part of our research community committed to transparency, collaboration, and continuous improvement. We would welcome everyone to help us make nice even nicer. So thank you all so much for listening to Dr. Gosnell and I. We would love to hear your thoughts, your feedback, your questions. I know this was a lot of information, so I am happy to answer any and all of those questions through my email at nicerchair@scichi.org, or even set up a Zoom meeting to describe our program a bit further. Thank you all and have a great day.